I'm 80 years old, and last Thanksgiving I paid a service $3,000 to send people to have dinner with me. They were strangers, professional companions. They showed up at 2 in the afternoon, pretended to be interested in my stories for 4 hours, ate the catered meal I'd ordered, then left at 6 on the dot because that's what the contract specified. I sat in my 8-bedroom house after they left.
Surrounded by expensive furniture and original artwork and a wine collection worth more than most people's retirement accounts, and I realized something that broke me. I have $7.2 million in investments. I own 3 properties. I have more money than I could spend in 2 lifetimes. And I have absolutely nobody who actually wants to spend a holiday with me. Here's what nobody tells you about chasing wealth. You can win the game and still lose everything that matters. You can have financial security and complete emotional bankruptcy at the same time. And by the time you figure that out, everyone you could have loved is gone. And you're sitting alone in a house full of things that don't love you back. I'm making this video because I see people everywhere sacrificing relationships for careers. People telling themselves they'll focus on family after the next promotion. People treating money as the goal instead of the tool. And I need you to know what it costs, because I paid the full price and I can't get a refund. Let me tell you what happened. Last November, my kids invited me to Thanksgiving at their mom's place, my ex-wife. We divorced 32 years ago when I chose a merger over marriage counseling. Said I couldn't take time away from work during such a critical period. The merger went through. Made me very wealthy. The marriage didn't survive. I said no to their invitation because it felt awkward, me and Linda in the same room. So I was looking at spending Thanksgiving alone again for the 8th year in a row. I found this service online. Holiday Companions. They send people to spend holidays with elderly clients who don't have family available. $3,000 for 4 hours. They sent 3 people. A woman who played a daughter. A man who was the son-in-law. A college-age girl who was the granddaughter. They were good at their jobs. Laughed at my stories. Asked questions about my career. The granddaughter even called me Grandpa Frank a few times. And it felt good for about 20 minutes. Then it felt hollow. Then it felt pathetic. At exactly 6 o'clock, they started gathering their things. The daughter said, "Thanks so much for having us, Mr. Reynolds. Happy Thanksgiving." Mr. Reynolds? Not Dad? Not even Frank. I sat in my dining room after they left, looking at the half-eaten turkey and the rented china, and I thought, this is what 50 years of prioritizing work got me. The ability to pay strangers to pretend to care. Let me tell you the biggest lie I told myself my entire career. I'll have time for relationships after I'm successful. First, I need to establish myself, then I'll focus on family. Money buys freedom. Once I'm financially secure, I'll be able to enjoy life and spend time with people who matter. You know what? That's not ambition. That's not being responsible. That's a con you tell yourself to justify neglecting everything that actually makes life worth living. I see people, especially young people, in their 30s and 40s, and they're all saying some version of this. After this project, after this promotion, after I hit this number, then I'll slow down. Then I'll be present. Then I'll prioritize family. Let me save you 50 years of regret with one simple truth. That moment never comes. You know why? Because success has no finish line. You hit your number and suddenly you need to double it. You get the promotion and immediately start eyeing the next one. The goalposts keep moving, and before you know it, you're 80 years old, and the people you were going to get back to are either gone or they've stopped waiting for you. I started my consulting firm when I was 28. My wife, Linda, believed in me. She was 26, working as a teacher, wanted to start a family. I told her, give me 5 years to get the business established, then we'll slow down and focus on kids. Just 5 years. Those 5 years turned into 10. 10 turned into 20. 20 turned into 32 years of me always being on the verge of slowing down, but never actually doing it. We had 2 kids, Michael and Jennifer. I missed Michael's birth because I was closing a deal in Hong Kong. I missed Jennifer's first steps because I was at a conference in San Francisco. Linda used to ask me to come to school, plays, soccer games, parent-teacher conferences. I always had a reason why I couldn't. Important client. Can't reschedule. Critical time for the business. She stopped asking around the time Jennifer turned 8. I thought I was providing for them. Private schools, nice house, vacations, college funds, all the things money could buy. What I didn't give them was me. Michael is 47 now, lives in Seattle with his wife and 2 kids. We talk maybe 4 times a year, awkward calls where he updates me on the kids and I make conversation about work he's not interested in. He's polite, dutiful, but we don't have a relationship. We have an obligation. Last time I saw him was 3 years ago at my grandson's birthday party. His son Ethan, he's 12 now. Ethan opened my gift, this expensive gaming system. $700. He said, "Thanks, Grandpa Frank," with the same enthusiasm you'd give a stranger, and moved on. His other grandpa, Linda's second husband, Tom, gave him a used skateboard he'd restored himself. Painted it with designs he knew Ethan liked. Probably cost $40. Ethan's face lit up. He hugged Tom, said, "This is so cool, Grandpa, you're the best." I sat there watching my grandson hug another man with genuine love, while my expensive gift got a polite thank you, and I understood. I'm not his grandpa. I'm the rich guy who sends money and shows up occasionally. Tom is his grandpa? Is that what you want? To be the person who bought expensive things but missed the actual life? I had a best friend, David. We met in business school when we were 24. We used to get together every month, beers on Friday night. Then it became every other month, then quarterly. Then I realized we hadn't talked in 18 months and I'd kept meaning to call, but I was always too busy. David died of a heart attack when he was 62. I was on a business trip in London when I got the news. I didn't go to the funeral, not because I didn't care, but because I had meetings scheduled and honestly, I didn't think I could face it. His wife sent me a note months later. Said David had called me a few times before he died. Left voicemails. He told her he missed our talks and wanted to reconnect. I never returned those calls. I spent 50 years telling myself I'd reconnect with David after things settled down. He died waiting for me to have time. When I retired at 72, everyone told me, now you can finally enjoy yourself. Travel, hobbies, relax. You know what I discovered? I didn't know how to enjoy myself. I'd never developed any hobbies. I'd never learned to relax. I'd never built friendships outside of work. I tried golf, felt pointless. I tried traveling alone, saw beautiful places through the lens of loneliness. You can't just suddenly start living at 72 when you've spent 50 years only working. Those muscles had atrophied completely. If you're sacrificing relationships for career right now, I want you to ask yourself some hard questions. How many family dinners have you missed this year? How many times have your kids asked you to do something and you said you were too busy? When's the last time you did something just for enjoyment, not because it advanced your career? If your child had a crisis right now, would they call you? Or have they learned that you're always in a meeting? Can you name your partner's current worries, their hopes? Or have you been so absent that you've become strangers? If you can't answer these, you're making the same mistake I made, Russ. Your children are only children once. I missed it. Michael learned to ride a bike while I was reviewing contracts. Jennifer had her heart broken for the first time and talked to her mother because I was on a business trip. My grandson Ethan is 12. In 6 years, he'll be in college. The window for being his grandpa, not just the rich guy who sends checks, is closing fast. And I can't get those years back. Traded for money that I now have nothing meaningful to spend on. Here's what I understand now. Money is a tool, not a goal. But if you destroy the life in pursuit of the wealth, what exactly have you accomplished? Financial security without relationships is just expensive loneliness. A big house with nobody in it is just a warehouse for your regrets. I have $7.2 million, but I'm poor in every way that matters. After that Thanksgiving with the hired companions, I started trying to rebuild, started calling my kids more, actually asking about their lives. Michael is polite but distant. We're trying. Slow progress. Jennifer is more receptive. But there's this gap between us. Decades of absence that can't be fixed with a few phone calls. I asked her once if she resented me for not being there when she was growing up. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Dad, I don't resent you. I just don't really know you. You're my father, but you're not really my dad. And I don't know how to fix that at this stage." That broke me more than resentment would have. I'd been absent so long that I'd become irrelevant. If I could go back and talk to my 28-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop telling yourself you'll have time later. Stop putting off moments that matter for deals that won't matter in 10 years. Stop sacrificing your family for your career. Stop measuring your worth by your bank account. Start showing up even when it's inconvenient. Start saying no to work sometimes and yes to your family. Start building relationships with the same intensity you build your business. Start being present. And most importantly, start now. Not after this project, not after the promotion, not after you hit your number. Now. Because I promise you, your kids will only be young once. Your friendships will only tolerate so much neglect. Your partner will only wait so long. And the money you're chasing won't comfort you when you're alone. I'm 80. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years, maybe 10 if blessed, probably less. And these last few months I've been trying, really trying, showing up at birthday parties even though it's awkward, calling my kids even when the conversations are stilted, learning my grandkids' interests even though I feel like a stranger. It's hard. There's so much lost time that can't be recovered. But it's better than sitting alone in an 8-bedroom house, counting my money and wondering why I feel empty. I'm poorer now than I was at 50. I give more money away. I spend less time worrying about investments. And I'm happier. Not happy, not yet. But less miserable than I was when my only measure of success was the number in my bank account. That's the irony. When you stop chasing wealth and start building a life, you start to feel rich in ways that actually matter. You have a choice right now, today. Keep telling yourself you'll have time for relationships after success. Keep missing dinners and recitals and moments that won't come back. Keep building wealth at the expense of connection. Or wake up. Realize that your family won't be there forever. That your kids are growing up right now whether you're present or not. That the life you're postponing is the only life you get. I can't make this choice for you. But I can tell you, you don't want to be 80 years old paying strangers to pretend to be your family. Don't waste 50 years chasing money instead of meaning. Learn from my mistake. Go home for dinner. Show up at the game. Turn down the promotion if it means missing another year of your kid's childhood. Build a life, not just a bank account.
The wealth means nothing if you have nobody to share it with. If this resonates, share this video. Leave a comment about one thing you're going to say no to at work this week so you can say yes to your family. Subscribe because I have more expensive lessons to share and not much time left to tell them. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time before it runs out?